Right, it's another day and it's another theme park. Today I am in Magic Kingdom. I just got off the bus outside of Magic Kingdom. Last time Nicole and I were here, we stayed at Polynesian. We took the monorail everywhere. This year I'm staying at All-Star Sports, and so I have to take the bus everywhere. So I'm learning a little bit about Disney transportation. It's 8 o'clock right now, so I'm here in time for early entry. I'm gonna try to see if I can get on Peter Pan's flight, because that's one of my favorite rides, and I wanna try to do it as many times as I can today. Oh, I made it all the way back here to Fantasyland, and I see now on the app that Peter Pan's flight is temporarily closed. So, what to do? Maybe I'll get lucky and Peter Pan will be open by the time I get there. All right, so Peter Pan had been showing closed, but the ride was running when I got here. They had no wait time posted on the board. I ended up waiting about 9 minutes. Now the posted time is 25 minutes. So I'm gonna go again, because 25 minutes is a good value for Peter Pan. If it's less than 35, I'm from Anaheim, so I'm used to a standard 35 or 40-minute wait. So if it's any time less than that, that's usually a go for me. So that was 3 rides on Peter Pan, and it's only 8:56. Never waited longer than 9 minutes any of those 3 times. Did one ride with the DJI, capturing some video, although I forgot to put it in low light mode, so I may need to fly it again with low light mode. And then I went through with my 12mm lens. Again, that lens is nice and wide, but it does kind of struggle because it is only f2. And then I went for a third with the 45mm, and that one's tough because even though this ride is a little better lit than Anaheim and it moves a little slower and a little smoother than Anaheim, 45mm is still a lot of reach because all of the subjects are relatively close. And that's 45mm on a micro 4/3 body. In full frame terms with the 2x crop factor, that is a 90mm lens. That's a lot of reach for a short little dark ride. And I would have kept riding, but I have a Lightning Lane single pass experience for Tron that is going to expire at 9:30, so I figured I'd head over there and get that taken care of. Obviously, you're not going to see any photos from me on the ride because I have to lock up my camera in the locker. There's nowhere to hide a bag. And now I'm going to go enjoy another ride. I'm going to go over to the Haunted Mansion. I had initially booked a Lightning Lane for Haunted Mansion because since I'm staying at the All-Star Sports Resort, I was able to book 3 Lightning Lanes in advance 7 days ago, actually about 9 days ago now. And my Haunted Mansion Lightning Lane is ready now, but also the app is showing Haunted Mansion has a 13-minute wait right now because it's still only 9:30 in the morning. So I pushed that Lightning Lane to about 3:40 in the afternoon when the line's going to be longer and that Lightning Lane's going to have a little more value to me. I decided to shoot it with my 45mm f1.2, which I haven't taken on this version of Haunted Mansion yet. I've given it a few runs in the West Coast version. And the last time I was here in Orlando, my memory of Haunted Mansion was that it was a lot darker. It wasn't lit as well, and it was a lot harder to photograph than the Haunted Mansion in Anaheim. I didn't get that impression this time. It didn't seem as dark and as challenging. I think some of the shots came out pretty well, especially the 3 kittens that are sitting on a tombstone. When you first come down into the graveyard on the left-hand side, those are lit a lot better in this version than they are in Anaheim. They're really, really hard to shoot. The only usable shot I've ever gotten of those in Anaheim was when we had a ride breakdown right there, and I had my 75mm lens. I actually was able to change lenses on the ride vehicle because we were stopped for so long, and really dial my shutter speed down, drag the shutter, get a pretty clean shot that I'm real happy with. But I wouldn't have to do that here. They seem really, really well lit. It's a shame I don't have that 75mm or even my 150 with me today. I had to make do with 45mm of reach, but that lens is really sharp, and at f1.2, it's going to give a really clean image, so hopefully I can clean some of these up in Photoshop and make them look really, really good. I am in Adventureland, and I am heading over to Pirates because the app is showing it's only a 10-minute wait. So I was lucky enough to be seated in the front row, so I took that opportunity to pull out the DJI and record some video of the ride that I will be using in a future video series comparing East Coast versus West Coast versions of rides. No trip to Magic Kingdom is complete without stopping to pay homage to Cynthia, the resident haunted doll of Liberty Square. You gotta stop and pay your respects to Cynthia, otherwise she might curse you by making your DJI with 2 days worth of footage on it fall out of your pocket on Expedition Everest, and then you have to buy a new one when you get home and come back to Disney World from California to film all that stuff all over again. So be kind to Cynthia. And now it's time to head back to Adventureland because I need to check in for my Halloween party. I need to get my wristband, and then also I have a dinner reservation at Skipper Canteen. All right, so I have now checked in for the Mickey's Not So Spooky Halloween party. I've got my wristband, I've got my map, I've got my candy sack, and now it is time to go have dinner. I have a dinner reservation for Skipper Canteen for about 20 minutes from now. I'm gonna go have a little bit of food, maybe have a beverage, one of the few places I can have an adult beverage here in Magic Kingdom. And then event doesn't start for a few hours, and so I got some rides to ride. So welcome to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. This is a seasonal hard ticket after hours event here in Magic Kingdom. On nights like this, the park shuts down to normal visitors at 6 p.m. and the event runs from 7 till either midnight or 1 a.m. I don't remember, and I'm too lazy to check the program. But it's similar to Oogie Boogie Bash. If you watched my Oogie Boogie Bash video last year, it's similar to that. There's a lot of trick-or-treating, there's a lot of candy, there's parade. Here in Magic Kingdom, there's also a fireworks show. California Adventure didn't have that. It doesn't have the treat trails with the villains the way California Adventure does. It just has cast members with barrels of candy handing it out all over the park. So if you're here with a kid and you just want to get lots of candy, or if you're here as an adult and you just want to get a lot of candy, it's pretty efficient this way. You're not slowing down, going through the treat trail and interacting with the villain, but it's missing a little bit of the show element. But they make up for it by having a fireworks show. There's a Hocus Pocus Sanderson Sisters music show on the castle stage tonight. There's a parade, just like there's a parade in DCA. There's a parade here called the Boo to You Parade. All the rides are open. Characters will be out. There's some special food and drink and snack offerings. There's some other stuff that I'm sure I'm forgetting. So I'm going to be kind of showing you what I think of this event. Also, all the rides are open, so it's a good event for people who just want to get more time riding on the rides. I just got off of Small World and I had a boat all to myself, an entire boat, just me. So that was kind of fun. The last time Nicole and I were here at an after hours event, we had a pirate's boat on Pirates of the Caribbean all to ourselves. It was really cool. Actually, Jungle Cruise is a good idea. It's kind of dusk right now. I'm gonna go see what Jungle Cruise is like, because there's nothing going on until 8:15. There's a parade at 8:15 I want to be here for. Jungle Cruise at night is always a good vibe. So now let's go see if we can find a spot to view this parade that's supposed to be starting in about 20 minutes. All right, so the Boo to You parade just wrapped up. It's a pretty good parade. It's a little more lighthearted and kid-friendly than the one in DCA. It has a section with all the villains at the end. It has all the villains you're used to seeing in the California Adventure show, but it also has a bunch of other characters in the beginning, which is pretty fun. And it has a lot of the Disney World characters, like the Country Bears and some other classics you would recognize. It's a good parade. I think my favorite part of the parade was seeing when one of the cars with villains was going by. There was an old classic car that had Cruella de Vil in it, as usual, but also driving the car were Horace and Jasper, so you don't really get a chance to see them very often, the other two unappreciated henchman villains from 101 Dalmatians. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think I got some really good photos. I think the 45mm f1.2 did a great job. I was right up against the rope on the parade route, so some of the performers come pretty close to you, right up to you. They're all at eye level. I think this lens did a pretty good job. I was shooting directly into one of the show lights, so some of the shots might be really severely backlit. Maybe some of that'll come out good and leave some good silhouettes, but sometimes it's a challenge, because sometimes you gotta take what you can get. And for a lot of these events, I don't waste time trying to camp out 45 minutes early to reserve a spot. So after filling up my water bottle and swapping my fuel rod at Cosmic Rays, I came in around the back of the castle and caught the majority of the first of 3 Sanderson Sisters shows. I wasn't as close as I would have liked to have been. I think the images will come out decently if I crop them. Here's a few of them. it's a pretty fun show. I was kind of behind a light pole most of the time, and so the camera's autofocus kept getting confused, and it kept racking focus to the light pole instead of on the characters on stage, so that was kind of annoying. I have a reservation at Beak and Barrel at 10:30. I am very excited about that. It is really, really well themed. The crew are absolutely on point. They're in character. They have a lot of fun with you. I got to be stood at the bar right in front in the middle of everything. It was really, really fun. It beats the absolute ass off of Oga's Cantina. Similar to Oga's, 45-minute time limit, 2-drink maximum. They do serve food. They have better food than Oga's. It's a little substantial, some more substantial stuff. So I ordered the Lit Fuse cocktail. I ordered the Barrels Ablaze cocktail, and I had the Island Provisions flatbread and chips and fried plantains with a series of dips. It was all very, very good. All the drinks are pre-mixed. They all come out of taps. You can see them right there on the wall. That's how they keep things really fast and consistent. It is what it is. The Barrels Ablaze cocktail is definitely better than the Lit Fuse. The Lit Fuse, I usually love a mezcal cocktail. That one, something about it was not quite as balanced as I like, but ambiance and crew are fantastic there. I can't recommend it enough. Find a way to get a reservation. My plan to leave Adventureland was cut short by a minute or two by a band called the Rusty Cutlass. They did some songs from Pirates of the Caribbean. They did some sea shanties. They're one of the better live Disney acts that I've seen. All right, now back to photography. We got 20 minutes left. Overall, I think it was a pretty successful event. I hope if you're thinking of coming to this event that this gives you some useful information. There's a lot of cool stuff going on, so I recommend checking it out. It is a lot to do in a short event. 5 hours is not a lot of time when you're trying to get in, 3 shows, 2 parades, a fireworks show, ride some rides, get some candy, do some character meet and greets, do some photo ops. It's a lot to do, so you gotta kind of look at the schedule and make a plan. It's hard to just kind of meander around and get everything done. If I hadn't spent 45 minutes drinking in a bar, maybe I could have gotten more stuff done, but no, I'm not. Beak and Barrel was worth it. Beak and Barrel was, I think, the highlight of my night. So if you take nothing else from this video, Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party gives you 5 extra hours in the day to squeeze in a reservation at Beak and Barrel. And I think I'll end the video with that. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.